Hey, what's up? This is Marcus with Machine City Audio to make a video and show you guys this beat I made and kind of break down how I made it and what I used within the MPC, as well as my setup with the analog lab. So I'm going to play the beat and then I'm going to break down how I made it. So I'm just going to do a little mix with the pad mute so you can get an idea of what the beat sound like. All right, let's check it out. All right, so now that you heard the beat, I want to break down how I got to this beat. So let me unmute these right quick. And here's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the main piano part that you hear. So I'm going to go to the main part so we can get to this. And what I'm going to do is just solo this right quick so you can hear the synth. So we're going to play this by itself. All right, so let me break down a little bit how I got this to sound like it did. So I didn't honestly do too much to it, but I did add a couple things. But first, I want to talk about what I used in this. So what I did was use the key part of the MPC ONE where you can do the chords and everything. So to get to that part, you hold Shift and you hit the 16-note level button, and this brings up the chords that you can do. So what I did for that was and that sound is coming from the analog lab. I'm using the analog lab for this sound. So you can use that in here, as I said, in other videos. So that's basically what I did for that. Now, if we go back to the main menu again, and let's go back to some of the effects, you want to hit this little oval, I guess it's eye, I'm not sure what it is, but you hit that, that takes you to the effects. And you see I have the effects on here. I have the MPC 60 effect. This effect actually comes in with the software of the MPC ONE. And if you haven't tried that yet, definitely try the MPC 60 out. I'm telling you, it does something nice. And then I'm also using the RC20 by Excellent Audio. If you didn't know that one, that's a good one. So let me play this and take these off. All right, so that's pretty much what I did to that. So I am using, like I said, the eternal effects that come with the MPC ONE. Telling you, try that MP60 out. It's pretty dope. All right, so we're going to move on to the drums next. Let me take that off. Solo first. And now we're going to move on to the drums. So let's hear these drums by themselves. Now, I didn't use the drums that come with the MPC ONE. I don't like the drums in the MPC ONE. I gotta admit, it's just something about them. They don't sound good. It's almost like they try too hard to make the drums sound like they were, you know, processed with vinyl, or like kind of give them that hip hop. I don't know. It's just something about them. I'm not feeling the drums. No disrespect to anybody that made the packs. I'm just not feeling the drums that came with it, so I loaded up my own drum packs. Now what I did for this one was I added effects to each one of the separate drums. Again, I'm using the MPC 60, and I'm not sure if you could tell. Now, let me take this off. It just adds that thump to it, you know, sort of a little thump to it. So let's check out that snare. Now for the snare, you can hear some reverb in that one. Let's take off the MPC 60. That's without any of the processing. That's with it. So you can hear that extra snap. And then for this, I just added a little reverb and an RC20 again for that. And let's hear the drums again. All right, so unsolo that, and let's move to the next one. So for the bass, let's talk about the bass a little bit. Didn't put any effects on the bass at all. Now I'm using the bass that comes with MPC ONE. Don't sleep on that bass. I'm telling you, try this bass out. So let me just play a little bit of what I did with that. Basically, I took it down a few octaves on here, and then I mean, that bass is, that's some low sub bass right there. So let's see. I'm using the Analog Lab to control the bass that's inside of the MPC ONE. So that's all I'm doing with that. All right, so let's move on to the next one. For the next one, the piano, I didn't add anything. Let me see. Nope, didn't add anything to the piano because it already kind of had that sound. And again, I'm using the Analog Lab for this one. Actually, this one was up an octave, or was it? Okay, yeah. That's pretty much that sound on its own. I didn't do anything to it. You know, that's pretty much just how it sounds. For the synth part, all my old school heads that actually use the MPC XL will know this little trick. All right, so let me solo this right quick. All right, so let me break this down. So for this one, I did add a lot of effects for this one. And believe it or not, I did use a lot of the internal effects in the MPC ONE. So basically I used the MPC 60 effect that I keep telling you guys about and the RC20. And I'm also using the filter section. There's an air filter. It's this air filter that comes with it. This is pretty good. You know, I didn't expect it to be as good as it is, but this is a pretty good little filter that you can use to kind of get that filtered effect to get more out of your sample. And then I'm using the tremolo sync. This is a good one too. All right. So basically, if I turn these all off, it's just going to sound like the regular sample. Now, if I'm gonna just turn those two off, and then I'm going to add them on so you can see what I'm doing. Again, the air filter and the tremolo sync come in the MPC ONE. So don't be afraid to try these effects inside the MPC ONE. If you're new and you haven't really dug into it, definitely dig into those vintage effects that they have. All right, basically the last part is just this. Just a little sound effects with a little bit of delay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to break that down for you so you can kind of see what I did to make this beat. And I'm feeling a new MPC workflow. Like I said, I'm not used to this workflow coming from the XL, but it's sort of reminiscent of the XL, you know, in some ways. But I like the vintage effects, and the air effects are some pretty nice effects. So definitely dig deeper into those if you haven't already. As I said before, I don't necessarily like the sounds that come with the MPC ONE. I don't plan on using any of the expansions, really. I plan on kind of loading my own sounds and making my own sound packs and everything like that. All right, so that's all I got for you today. Thank you again, everybody that's been subscribing. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you like this video. I am Marcus with Machine City Audio. Peace, and until next time.